Hey, you sober enough to return to active service?
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
I don't know why that one caught me.
It was
up,
directed at you.
Yeah, I know. I had a feeling.
And me too. Aren't we all?
So here we are, part 2. Breach.
We're just trying as hard as we best.
Bruce Willis, Cody Kearsley.
Kearsley.
Rachel Nichols.
Yep.
And some other people's movie.
Corey Large.
Corey Large, he wrote, and
Tommy Jane.
Tommy Jane. Yeah, Tommy Jane. So here we are. So part 2, we left it. I think Noah is still cleaning the floors, and we've kind of
the usual. He had just revealed that he's a stowaway to Clay.
Right, to Clay. So Clay's the only one that knows right now that Noah is a stowaway. And Noah throws out yet again the defense that, like, I'm doing this for my family.
Yeah, it's for my family.
That's twice now he says that.
Yeah. This isn't Fast and the Furious.
Firmly. So then we're back in the bathroom, I think. And I think it was a bathroom. Yeah, it was a bathroom. And we get the whole...
Was it a bathroom?
I don't know. Was it?
It doesn't matter. It's like some room on the ship. Yeah, everything is some room on the ship.
Somebody filmed it in a basement. So yeah, it's only gonna get better, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole gang here, the team, Doc, Clay, Noah, Stanley, I think, and I think that's it, right?
Yep. They find our exploded friend.
Yeah, I don't remember what that guy's name was. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Finally. Shady. Shady's his name.
That's it, of course.
And Shady is everywhere.
Shady is exploded.
Mm-hmm. And people are immediately suspecting Blue for some reason. Nobody's seen him in a while. Everyone's like, oh, where's Blue? He must have did it. Wait, what?
It's like, wait, didn't you guys all hang out? Don't you all know each other? Like, why would you think? Why is that
an nicknames like Shady and Blue? So
yeah.
So like, all right, now we got to do a sweep of this because they were like, oh, well, where's Ortega? Well, last time we saw her, she was looking for Blue. I'm like, well, now we got to find both of them. They got to be here somewhere. So they're doing a sweep of the ship.
Yep. And this is where you start seeing a bunch of other extras and people who are on this ship who, I don't know, they've been locked up for a while. They were like kind of bouncing around to various parts of the ship. And then Bruce, Noah's kind of like wandering around looking like, huh?
Yep.
And then Clay finds Ortega and again, immediately assumes that Blue bashed her head in.
Yep. Which
all signs point to. I guess actually he did. He did. So actually,
but still, you shouldn't assume.
Not guilty until proven, right? And then, so they were near the reactor. We get another shot, I think, of that, right?
Which, this is the first time I was like, wait, does the alien want the reactor? Like, I'm confused now.
Yeah.
We don't have any information about the alien thus far.
No, and like what they're trying to do, but they do have a plan here, right?
Presumably there's a motive.
And then we have Noah just kind of walking around yet again, and he finds Blue doing some laser gunning to a door.
Yeah, this is the laser that they mixed with the sexy for the commercial.
Right. Yeah. And then he's like, ooh, man, there he is. And then Noah backs up quietly and then comes back with the whole gang, right? All loaded up. So we got Stanley, we got 2 guys who are going to die in a minute, and right.
Yep.
And they're all back. So and the doctor's there and Clay, and all guns pointed at Blue, and and Bruce is like, Blue, my boy Blue.
He's going to kill you. Stop it.
Blue.
Stop it.
Wow.
Which, did we already say this is the Admiral's quarters that they're trying to break in, that Blue's trying to break into?
Oh, I don't know.
That's semi-important.
Yeah, it is. I didn't realize that's what they were doing.
Yeah. And this is what also led me to think like they must want the reactor because we know that the Admiral is the only person who can get in the reactor.
Right. So then they're having a little bit of a standoff with Blue, and then he just jumps at some dude.
Yeah, rips his throat out immediately.
Yeah, just like, okay. And like no one's shooting him. And we're just like, what?
Well, Stanley's like, and then starts firing wildly.
Yeah, well, after Bruce is like, shoot him. And it's like, what stuff?
Yeah, and then Bruce shouting afterwards, is he dead? Is he dead?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Maybe.
And then we're at the doctor's office, right?
Yeah. With the whatever the.
And then we get some great, more wild accusations, but science happening, I guess. I don't know.
Speculative science, yeah.
Yeah, speculative science. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. So we got all the bodies on the table, right? So we've got Blue, the guy's throat he ate out, and someone else I think also died, right?
Ortega. Yeah.
Ortega, that's right. So we got the three of them laid on tables, and then everyone's kind of standing there like, oh man, what's going on here? And then the doctor is just like Rachel Nichols' character, Dr. What's her name?
Chambers.
Chambers, thank you. And she's just like, I think something's eating him from the inside.
Yeah, something's dissolving him from the inside out. I don't think so.
Like, what?
Sure, that seems weird. Like, can we talk about that?
Okay.
But no, we don't talk about that. We just skip to the bunk.
Yep, back to the bunk buddies. And then we get Teak, who's like scanning through footage to see what happened. And this is still in the doctor's office. And Teak is like scanning through footage to see what happened. And Bruce is just like, why is this taking so long? It's just one room.
Yeah, asking the question we're all thinking.
Yeah, like seriously.
We get a launch lady update, T-minus 85 days. Whereas before we were skipping days at the wazoo. Now we're going like hours at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time here.
Yeah.
And then I think we're in a security room. We bounced to a security room, and we still got Teak searching through footage, right?
Yep, with Stanley this time.
And he stops at something, but I don't know. Did he do something? He stopped, and I didn't know. I didn't catch if he did something. Like clearly, it was him.
No,
he was like trying to. I thought he was like stopping to like not
erase.
Let them. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, that would be slightly smarter than I thought the movie was if that was the case.
But I mean, at this point, this is when I was like, oh, he must have been the person in the beginning. Like I started piecing together now that he was like part of the rebellion and doing this.
Okay.
He was going to do something sketchy, but
yeah, I must have missed that totally.
Because he was also sneaking around the reactor room. Remember, because Noah spotted him randomly. He was just like,
yeah, but I thought they were like working together, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the captain, it doesn't matter. The captain takes a stab at it, and then we're back at the infirmary real quick. This kind of cuts quickly back and forth, and
Chambers starts up the autopsy, pulls a thing out of the body.
Nice.
And then just kind of like, let's do a little DNA analysis.
Now so then we cut to the crew quarters, or just Bruce and Clay and Noah's quarters, right?
Bunk. Yeah.
The bunks. And Bruce wakes up in the weirdest fashion ever. I don't know. He's like, what? I'm awake. And he stands up and he's looking at Noah, who's on the top bunk, and he's still sleeping. And this is a goof. This is a total goof. I don't know if you caught this, but so there's they do quick shot of Noah laying there, and he's got a photo of him and Haley, of course, right there.
Yep.
And they cut back to Bruce for a reaction. They cut back to Noah, and then there's like two photos, and he's got a photo.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, what? Why?
What is that? What is that thing called? No, that's sonogram.
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound. That's. I was like, what I couldn't think of the freaking word. They have an ultrasound photo now of the child. I'm like,
and then for some reason, Captain Stanley locks them in the bunk.
Yep. And this is pretty much halfway of the movie right here.
Yep. Somehow.
Yeah. Somehow.
There's still another half.
So the next big scene is pretty big, right? Because we're now back in the infirmary here.
Yep.
And we got Dr. Chambers. She's doing an autopsy on Blue. And this is where we get the medical analysis typo, misspelled analysis interface saying whatever she pulled out of Blue is unknown. And then she just reaches inside of Blue and just with her gloves and just pulls out black goop.
A bunch of goop. Yep. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then this scene does a bunch of quick cuts, because then it cuts to Stanley looking at the security footage again. This time though, they finally found the footage of the guy exploding originally.
Oh, right. Yep.
And then Chambers calls on the walkie-talkie or whatever and says, well, there's nothing inside of him. And he's like, what do you mean? Nothing inside of him.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Stanley shows up at the bunk, collects the boys. Bruce Willis is
at gunpoint, by the way, at gunpoint.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at gunpoint. Brings them to the autopsy where we're like, they're not at gunpoint anymore. So I don't like, I guess that passed.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of rage for a second there.
Yeah. It's all good. We're good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to point the gun at you.
Yeah. And then at the autopsy, this is when Chambers is like, yeah, they're just like dissolving the insides. So there's no organs. And then something is controlling them from inside their bodies.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Justifiably.
So yeah, she goes on this little spiel here, and I don't know if you have anything before this, but then she just like does this thing. She's like, I think Stanley asked her like, hey, do a head count of like who's around or who's left or something, right? I didn't really catch the details because it was so stupid. And then she just taps the medical analysis interface device, and it just says stowaway on it. because she did some research on she did a head count, did research on all of the people, and she couldn't find Noah's in the system. Which
right before that is when she says that it's whatever this is inside of our crew members isn't carbon based. It's not human. Like this is when they establish it's definitely alien. Yep. And then she's like, also, I did some digging and like that guy doesn't even belong here. It's like, wait, what? Wait, a narc.
You're also like smuggled on. Like, what kind of smuggle job was this? Like, weren't you supposed to get him into the system? And then two, Noah, you were at the computer changing your assignment. How about you just throw yourself in the old system there? Doesn't seem like it's a really hard system to hack, by the way.
What a dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah. So Stanley always shouting, like constantly just being like, "You fucking move!"
But it's also like Noah just makes but it's so goofy because Noah just makes a beeline for the door.
Yes, of course. Right. He runs away immediately.
Oh my God. And then Clay kind of talks Stanley down though. He's like, no, he's okay. He's okay. And then we get another Noah
he's not
being
gonna
like,
hurt anyone. That guy's an idiot.
which he is. And we get another Noah being like, I'm here for my family, Third time mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it just felt like, so the gang is there. They're all standing there and they're trying to figure out what's going on now. And all of them have their backs to the tables where all the dead bodies are. But in this moment, it's like everyone is asking questions that are like supposed to be like kind of reorienting, I think, the audience. And like, they're just all asking a bunch of questions to the doctor. And she's like, I don't know. Next question. I don't know. She has no answers to anything. It's like, why stop asking questions that no one answers?
And then this is when she goes, well, show them. They deserve to know. And this is when they pull up the exploding guy video again and show it to the rest of the crew. Yeah.
Why is that a secret? Why wouldn't they?
Right. And also like, why wouldn't you give those guys a heads up? Like, oh yeah, we just saw a guy explode on camera. Want to see? Like instead they're like, no, watch this. Like, this isn't Two Girls, One Cup. Like don't try and goat see me on this. Like don't look those things up, listeners.
Yeah, do not Google that. Well, like, yeah, why would,
maybe bleep those out?
Is there some reason to like hide this from people? Like, I don't know. It makes no sense.
Yeah, frustrating. So,
man, the logic starts to slowly seep out of this movie. Well, it has been from the beginning, but quickly.
Right. And like you said, they had their backs turned to our corpses, which is important because now we're under attack.
They're not. Hey, Clay, look up.
Yeah. What? And wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man is
attack Stanley, and it's like this is where we get action. And yeah, Stanley just unloads his gun on the alien dude,
which super inconsistent too. In that the rest of the movie, most of the time the bullets slow them down.
Yes.
Right now, not at all.
Nothing.
Like the guy is just walking through bullets like they're nothing until it gets to Stanley, and then it punches through him. Like the zombie, I call them zombies most of the rest of the time.
Yeah, they're pretty much zombies. Yeah.
Yeah. Like punch through his chest.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
Like just so stupid.
Yeah, and then there's like a shot of like alien guy with like tongue coming out of his mouth. I was like, oh,
right.
The tongue's gonna go through his head or something. This would be cool. It doesn't. Nope. And they cut to Stanley's reaction. They cut back to it, and the tongue's gone. I was like, what? Yep. What? What's going on here?
Yeah, and apparently, like bullets only work because it's in this scene also. Like bullets put people down for a little bit. Like Chambers shoots at a zombie and it makes them stop.
Yeah. And then later on, there's like a headshot to a zombie and it like lays him out to Stanley actually. Yeah. And it's just like, what? But then he comes back. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
We also get we just get Bruce is just standing there. I don't know if you know, he didn't do anything. I don't think.
Oh yeah. He didn't do anything. No.
He just stood there and they reused the same shot they used of him once. They're like, we're going to show this again.
Yeah.
And then there's like it's such a lame action scene, and then Blue just like pushes the doctor down on the ground.
Right.
It's like, what?
Okay. Yeah. And it's like all of this is enough, like all of the bullets and everything is enough for Clay to escape with the rest of the team except Stanley. Like Stanley's the only one who can't make it because obviously he got a hole punched in him, and bullets don't do anything if you're Stanley.
Oh, and the doc, she picks up the gun too, right? And she just starts mowing down. She mows down Ortega, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, which works great for her. She's like, yep, slows her right down. Chambers leaves.
Yeah, all logic went out the airlock in this movie.
Yeah, just like Stanley always wanted.
Yep. So then we're in a corridor. And we get the leftover gang kind of run around the hallways. Blah, 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 blah. And then we got Alien Stanley opens up the crew cabins, right?
Yep.
And then the crew, like everyone pops out of their cabins. They're like, oh, well, what's going on out here?
Hey, what's going on? And then zombie crew obviously attacks everyone, right?
Yeah. They roll up and they're like, what up? They don't see it, but they just roll up and are like, okay, we get the idea.
Yeah. We get lots of other violence, but not this one.
Yeah. Then we end up in the supply room, right?
Yep.
And then
where the main crew is like having a little scuffle with each other about
what to do next and what's happening. Yeah. So at this point, this is where we're at. So we got Clay, Bruce Willis. We got Doc Chambers, right? Rachel Nichols. We got Noah, and then we got Teak. That's what we got left. And they're all hanging out in the supply room trying to figure out what's going on. And this is where, like, man, this was some messy editing. This is bad. It was so bad. It was like, wow, what is happening? Like, I didn't write down much stuff because I was so distracted by like how this was cut. But
I didn't follow it at all.
So there was like yeah,
this is the beginning of the end, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So there was like, it's so weird. So like they're in a room and it's like Noah and Bruce are standing on one end, and then in front of them, is the Doc and Teak. And in one shot, the Doc and Teak both have guns pointed at Noah.
Yep.
And then there's some dialogue, which doesn't fucking matter. And then it cuts back to now Teak and the doctor turned around facing the door, covering the door, right?
Yep.
Both of them. And then it cuts back, and then the Doc is back in the original spot she was in the first cut. It's like,
yep.
What is happening right now? Like,
making me ill.
I was like, what? Oh my God, this is so terrible. Yeah, that drove me nuts. That was the only thing I got out of that entire scene. And then
well, and then basically like everybody's accusing Noah again.
Yes. Yeah.
Teak is accusing Noah, like, what did you do? What did you do? And Noah's like, I don't know, man. And Clay's like, knock it off. He doesn't know. Like, clearly this guy's a moron. Okay. Yeah.
And then everyone keeps asking Doc Chambers, like, what do we do? What do we do? And everyone keeps asking all these questions. He's like, I still have no idea. You literally asked the same questions a scene ago. Like,
I can't tell you how to kill it if I don't know what it is. Like, sorry.
Have no answers for you. Stop asking these fucking questions.
Yeah. I mean, she actually says that explicitly later, but but that's what she means this whole time.
Yeah. And then we get Bruce being like, well, can fire kill it?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Yeah. Bullets seem to slow him down. She's like, yeah, fire, like, give it a shot, I guess. And so they just stand around waiting for the zombies to show up. And then like the zombies show up and they try burning them and it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do shit.
Yeah. The fire alarm goes off instead, which does make them go away.
Yes. So, I mean, I get like that whole sequence of them like keep peppering and asking these questions. It's for us to be like, you know what? You know what's going to kill him? I know what's going to kill him. Moxicell. Oh, bullets won't do it. Flames won't do it. You know what it is? I bet it's that Moxicell from the back of the.
Brought to you by Raytheon.
Like, Jesus Christ, man! Like, I don't even know where we are. So we're in a foggy corridor now because the smoke alarm. Whatever.
We get Noah saying, "I can't see," and then I think it's Teak that says, "Neither can they." So shut the fuck up. Yeah. Or it's Bruce Willis because Bruce Willis says things like that lots. Yeah.
Like, way to kill tension.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Way to kill the suspense of like a foggy corridor.
Yep. And then like they're starting to get into a little bit of a skirmish with the zombies, and Clay says, "Cover me," runs right into them. Somehow like manages to drag Teak back. Like Teak got
pulled in,
got stolen by the zombies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis is like, "Cover me," runs right into them. Everyone's like, "What?"
and then
like the whole time also like while he's in there, they're like, "Wait, Clay just ran in there. Clay, duck." And then they just like open fire. Like, honestly.
Oh wait, hold on, but this is also the moment where the smuggler shows back up. This is what's his name? The Corey Lart, the writer there. He just shows up randomly, right? I think he just pops up, and I think he does a headshot to Ortega, who jumps out at Noah, right?
Yeah, one of the remaining unmassacred crew members.
Yeah. So he just shows up out of nowhere, does a headshot to Ortega as she's jumping out onto Noah. And then it's, and then they're just like, if you're in there, duck.
Yeah.
All right.
So they fire wildly. Clay somehow comes, like it manages to get out. And that's when Corey Large grabs the escape pod. He's like, hey, Noah, you sure you don't want to come with me? And he's like, no, I got stuff to do. And he's like, all right, smell ya.
Yeah, I was so I missed like that exchange. I thought for what I saw, because I was probably taking notes, not paying attention, but he just popped up, did the headshot, and was like, all right, I'll help for a second. And then he's like, yeah, see ya. I'm gonna get in the escape pod. It's like,
no, he offered. He was like, he said to Noah,
okay.
Noah only. He was like, hey, like, this isn't your fight, man. Like, come on with me on the escape pod. And Noah's like,
family.
It's about family.
It all comes back.
You don't care about family.
It all comes back to Fast and Furious. Family.
Mm-hmm. So then guy in the escape pod is obviously immediately doomed. Like they give it 5 seconds, and he's like, I made it. And then there's a zombie, obviously kills him in the pod.
Yeah, and that pod is off to some other planet, by the way. So that planet's screwed. Right? That's going to land somewhere at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, one thing we haven't established is like, do the alien parasites need to feed other than switching body? Do they need to switch bodies, or do they just do it for fun? Like, we don't know anything about, like, maybe the alien won't make it to the next planet. Who knows? Yeah,
there's been no establishment of like the logic of alien, what they do, what they need. Yeah, there's been there's no establishment.
There's no rules.
So we can make it up whatever we want. But they are also enough, in control where the alien could change the ship, right? Don't they program stuff? Don't they
They seem smart. Yeah, they seem smart enough. But like to go to New Earth, I guess.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I want to know. So anyways,
so then this is when Clay gets ambushed and almost murdered by Stanley. So like right after Noah is like, no thanks, I'm not going to escape right now. Follows up to Clay. Clay gets ambushed, almost murdered by Stanley. Noah's line, hey, Stanley, and then shoots him.
And this is kind of fun. When Stanley comes in and attacks Bruce, they do the cut of like him getting tossed, and it's very clearly a stunt double, which on IMDb it's listed. He's listed. He's like Clay's stunt double.
I mean, Bruce Willis is what, like 68, something like that. Like he's old enough to party.
Yeah, but oh my god,
he's not looking to break his bones.
It's just like you could cover this. But anyways, whatever. So and then Noah comes in and headshots, right?
Yep. Okay. Yep. So then we make it to the security bay. That buys everyone enough time to make it to the security bay. This is when we get the explicit. I can't tell you how to kill it if I don't know what it is, from Dr. Chambers.
Thank you, Doctor, finally, for saying that.
Yeah, and we get the whole gang being like, "Well, we had a good run." Like everyone just gives up.
Everyone just gives up and just
over,
drink.
Guys.
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna drink some moonshine. Like, do you have moonshine on you? Like, what?
Yeah, they all do. They're all holding flasks. Like they're like, remember, like they're all just sitting around sipping flasks, like getting wasted. And Noah's like, "Wait, seriously?" And he's like, "You guys really just gonna do this right now? Are you really just gonna sit around and wait for them to tear us apart?" And Dr. Chambers goes, "No, we're gonna get drunk and wait for them to tear us apart." Oh my god. And then he goes, "I'm looking out for my family. Who are you looking out for?"
Family. So
this is another, it's like this could have probably been fixed with editing. It's definitely because the script is bad and not necessarily has to do with editing, but they could have fixed it with editing.
Could have.
When it cuts immediately from who are you looking out for? What are you doing? Everyone's giving up to Clay saying, "Well, it's going to be tight, but if you got a plan, like, let's do this." You're like, "Wait, what?"
So that's, I'm glad you said it. Cause like,
it doesn't make any sense.
I literally wrote down, I was like, I don't know what the plan is.
Right.
And I wasn't sure. I was like,
it's going to be tight.
I was like, I'm not going to rewind because I don't know what the plan is and I don't care. I'm hoping, I think they're going to wake up the Admiral. They're just going to wake up the Admiral.
The plan was wake up the Admiral. That's not a plan, but it's like, that is the plan. Yeah.
I mean,
wake up the Admiral.
I mean, it's a plan, but it's like, then what?
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, Admiral Crunch, do you have some of your cereal that you can help like scrape up the roof of their mouths?" He's like, "No, that's Captain Crunch." No.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So I'm glad I was like, I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden she's like, all right, we're doing this. I'm like, what are we doing? What's happening? Wait, do we have a conversation? What's happening?
Well, it's going to be tight, but if you're on board, I'm on board. And you're like, wait, Bruce Willis. You skipped a few lines. Like you just like skipped a few lines and like a few pages in the script just went by and he's like, no, this is fine.
Yeah. They're like, fuck it.
Guys, I'm here for another 45 minutes. Let's do this.
Oh my God. So bad. All right. So then, Noah's just crawling in vents because, you need a vent scene.
Yeah. With the Bruce Willis hologram guiding him the whole way. So he's like crawling around in the vents. Bruce Willis hologram pops up. He's like, you want to hurry it up, son?
By the way, we should clarify. It's Bruce Willis hologram head.
It's just his head. You're right. Yeah, it's just a floating head at this point. Earlier in the movie, it was a full body. It was like a Princess Leia style full body hologram. Now it's just the disembodied head of Bruce Willis.
I want to know what is this technology? How is it?
I don't know. It seems awesome. Like they could have probably solved the rest of their problems with this technology, right?
Yes. Like it can sneak up on you and just be another thing that is there. Yeah. Like
it seems sentient. Like I don't know.
Oh my God, this fucking movie is so terrible.
Something special.
Whew. Okay, so he's going through the vents trying to figure out life, and then this is where we start getting Teak because he took a hit when he was. Yeah, back in the last battle, and this is where we get Teak confesses to basically he's a part of the rebellion. Basically,
God, please forgive me. God, and it's like, the way you sum it up makes it sound like it happened in 1 second. It's drawn out over 5 minutes of him being like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up, Teak. We're trying to do stuff right now.
Now is not the time to pray."
Yeah, please, God, please forgive me, guys. I got something to say. Like, I thought it'd be quick. And you're like, wait, I thought what would be quick, Teak? Tell us what you fucking did for the love of God. And Bruce Willis those are the lines Bruce Willis has. Yeah. Tell us what you did. Like, and it's like, I don't know. And meanwhile, in the vents,
Teak's a fucking moron. Like, it's like, Teak, you know what's quick is setting up a bomb that blows a hole open inside the ship and then we're done.
Yeah.
Not
just
trying
vent every. Well, he's not trying to do that. He's trying to end humanity. That's the thing.
He's trying to end humanity. Yeah, because his whole
not
thing
just the ship. Yeah.
Well,
it's got to go. It's got to make it to New
Earth.
Right. Oh, right. It's got to make it to New Earth. It's going to be like a planet bomb. I guess. I don't know.
But none of this makes sense because it's when you get to the new planet, it's already.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. But think about it. 30 years have gone by.
Right. Maybe there's another rebellion terrorist on another ship, maybe, and already brought it there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that. Yeah.
Or that's like the naturally occurring thing on New Earth. Like maybe it came from New Earth and then got back to New Earth. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, there's not enough beer in the planet. Okay, so yeah, you're right. This confession does play out a little bit too long, and it's pretty annoying. Yeah, and then we keep cutting back to Noah going through the vents still, and then
they found me, guys. I gotta go. And Bruce Willis just goes, "Run!" You're like, "Run!" He's crawling in a vent. Like you can't run anywhere. What are you talking about?
Also, like again, this is like the logic and space of where things are and what's going on. So you're in the supply room with the doctor, Clay, and Teak is going through this whole spiel about, confessing, right? And then you have Noah and events, and then you have basically Clay, Bruce Willis, yelling or, calling Teak out on his shit, but at the same time, he's doing hologram Google Maps through event system.
Yeah. Not just calling him out on his shit, beating him up. Like Clay's like throwing him around the room at that point. Like, wait, go right, go left.
Hold on 1 second. Go right, go left.
You should see a vent over there. You're like,
the
whole thing is vents. The whole fucking thing's vents. What do you want from me?
The only way I could sum this whole scene up, this whole sequence was like, this is pretty fucking goofy. That's pretty much the only way I could sum it up because it's so bad.
So frustrating. So then Noah finally makes it to the Admiral's chamber. And then instead, like he goes over to the computers, like he's going to try and open them. And he's like, and then he grabs a crowbar and just forces the chamber. Oh. And you're like, wait, isn't this probably bad for the people who are cryo frozen? Like that's not,
I was like, I don't think that's how this works. Like,
yeah, I don't think he's going to wake up and just be like, hey, what's up? Hey.
I think it'll just come out like and be dead because I think there's some type of.
You have to thaw them or something. I don't know.
I'm no cryo chamber, expert here, but
no.
But I think
far from it.
I think we've seen enough sci-fi to know you can't just crowbar them open.
Yeah. Nope. Crowbars them open, and meanwhile, they're still interrogating Teak, and Dr. Chambers helpfully is like, "There's 300,000 souls on this ship," and Teak's like, "I don't give a fuck. Like, it's from the experiments, bro." And they're like, "The experiments? So wait, man created these monsters?" And he's like, "No, they came back from the thing." Like he's the least helpful terrorist of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty.
No, they came back from the mission, from the thing. Oh, okay. So then,
oh my god,
this is when we get Admiral Adams here is like, okay, I'm taking charge again, Captain. You sober enough to resume active command? He's like, sure. Bruce Willis is like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, he's like, no, wait, he doesn't even say I guess so. He's just like, oh yeah, just like I always was. And I'm like, no, you've always been an alcoholic. This seems like a problem.
And I think the Admiral drops a good line too, right? He's like, let's not complicate things. Let's kill him and flush him out the airlock.
Yeah.
That's
the solution to everything.
So that's the plan.
Yep, that's
okay.
The plan.
Kill him and flush him out the airlock. Okay. And then they cue the music and wake him
up, strap up, move out.
Yeah, wake him up. Get him fired up, right?
This is because we got the elite team that was frozen with the Admiral.
Yes, right.
Everyone's suiting up. Adams is talking about Clay now, how he majored in orbital warfare, which is like the first future thing that they actually say in this movie. Right? Everything else seems very right now. And like apparently Clay refused to shoot protesters, and that's why he got demoted. Which okay. Clay, I think Bruce Willis would absolutely shoot protesters.
Oh, 100%.
but they're making his character seem like kind of a hero.
Yeah. And this is why he got demoted because, he wouldn't follow orders. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we're back in the corridor and we get the badass gang and they line up like from the trailer, like you said, Revolutionary War style.
Yep. Meanwhile, while this is all going on too, this is when we get the reveal for Admiral Adams that Noah is the father of the baby. And he's like, and we get Bruce Willis's defense. He's an idiot, but he's our idiot.
The Admiral's, I think he's like ready to shoot him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks like it.
Yeah.
He holds a gun to his head. So,
yes. And this is pretty important.
In my experience with guns, Russ, I know we talked about guns a lot on the podcast. In my experience, you don't point a gun at something you're not willing to murder.
Right.
As a general rule. That's like the only rule of guns is don't point it at something that you don't want to disappear.
Yes. That is great tip. Actually, great safety tip for everyone out there.
So, so the Admiral throws on sunglasses inside.
Fired up.
Stupid.
Yep. Hey, no, man. Like this is why I think this is Thomas Jane kind of leaning into this a little bit.
It's like really half-assed.
Yeah. He needed to do more, but yeah.
Yes. Really like fully commit to the bit or I'm not going to get that it's a bit, which is where we landed. Like we landed on, are you trying to be funny? I can't tell. And that's not what you want. And then they roll out.
So then we got the badass gang. I think this is when they line up, right? Is this when they run into
this is when they line up. Yep. This is somewhere on the ship. Thank God he took off his sunglasses.
I think it was a forget. It was a prop forget.
Well, and then also though, but like to the prop department's credit, I don't think that might be the case. They're still playing up they're trying to do the lean into something funny of like the Admiral saying his lines are watch your six, safety's off. And you're like, those are stupid lines.
Yes. 100%.
Right. Like you must be trying to lean into the trope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No. 100%. I think so. This is why I was hoping Thomas Jane would be like the saving grace of this and would lean into it pretty heavy because it felt like he was doing it in the trailer.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
Yeah, because the entire rest of the movie doesn't do it, and everyone else has to be on board. I think.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I 100% agree. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then the whole time, like people are like beating on the doors of the security room where Bruce Willis and Teak and Dr. Chambers are, right? Like while all of this other stuff is happening, the Admiral and Noah are like getting after it. Admiral comes up across the group of zombies. Captain Stanley, is that you? The zombies do their shrieking thing like they always do. And then these guys have blasters apparently.
Yeah.
like, why haven't we had these weapons the whole time? I don't know.
Well, it's just to show how badass they are. But I was a little confused. I was like, wait, whoa, they got Star Wars.
The elite squad has elite shit, right?
Yeah, they got good old fashioned stormtrooper blasters, basically, right? Shooting red lasers. And I was like, wow. And this whole sequence is really, really bad, though. This was like the huge gunfight, right? And there was a lot of terrible CGI, like muzzle flare. There was alien humans just jumping in the air a lot. And then it broke down to like a hand-to-hand combat sequence where you get the old punch in the chest and the person flips over thing. It's just like over the top. Like, I don't know. It was not that good.
Thankfully, this is when Teak finally gets eaten.
Yeah. Is this when it happens? Okay.
Yeah. Right around here. This is when like Noah's getting chased away by the different zombie.
Yeah. So the next scene is we're in a supply room where Noah versus Blue, right? Again.
No, Blue's super. Wait, is it Blue still? I thought it was a different guy.
No, it's Blue. And they're like wrestling in the supply room. And this is where we, of course, because you have to get Moxicell. You need to kill
Raytheon.
So yeah, Noah is fighting Alien Blue and they're kind of throwing each other around. Or actually, it's more Blue throwing him around multiple times. And then, of course, he grabs Moxicell as he's getting choked and he just stuffs it in his mouth or does something. I don't know.
Well, he opens the bottle and throws it all over his face. This is what drove me nuts because like he throws it all over Blue's face and somehow doesn't get any on himself.
I was so confused at what happened. I was like, oh, did he just put the bottle in his mouth or something? Or what did he do? I was
so mad. Yeah. I don't know. Not that. Like it should have gotten all over him.
So there we are.
This is when we get the big suicide bomb scene, right? So after this.
Yeah, so Noah now figures out that he splashes Amoxicell on Blue and he basically just melts away like the Wicked Witch of the East there when she gets water on her. She's like melting and then just disappears. It's like what? So now Noah's like, oh man, the Amoxicell, that'll kill the alien. And then he's running down the hallway and Clay is just like, hey, get in here. I'm like, I don't know where we are. I don't know. Nothing makes like there's no spatial sense.
There's no
here.
spatial,
And he's like, get in here. I'm like, where? And then there's an alien horde that has Admiral Adams, Thomas Jane cornered, right?
Yep.
And for some reason, the Admiral's strapped with explosives.
Yep. A big bomb. Yeah.
Like a very big, like a big bomb, like a bomb, I think big enough that would put a hole in the ship and like game over. Game over, bro.
You would think. Right.
Oh my God. And then this is the moment when Admiral Adams just turns and it's so weird because again, spatial problem. You have all the horde going after the Admiral in the corner. Noah's there though, like the outside. And the Admiral's just
make eye contact and he goes, hey kid, tell Haley I think she'll be all right. And then he explodes himself. You're like, oh, okay.
And what seems like a pretty big explosion.
You're like, wait, Noah just figured it out. Like, we don't have to be. Well, I guess you kind of have to do this. There was no really saving that guy, I think.
Yeah, no. But still, there's a hole in the ship. That's a pretty big explosion.
There should be. Yeah, it was a big explosion. Yeah. Based on like the limbs that are scattered by this explosion.
Oh my God.
Right. So like everybody gets destroyed. All the zombies, except for then they start regrowing themselves after the explosion. And that's when Clay and Noah and Dr. Chambers here make their getaway while they're regrowing.
So then they run down the hallway, right? They run down the hallway and they get to like, all right, what do we do now? And then Noah's like, yeah, Moxicell kills him. And then Bruce Willis is out of nowhere. He's like, and now you're telling us this? He's like, wait, what?
Yeah. When did I have another opportunity to tell you this?
I was literally running down to tell you this because I just found out, but then the Admiral blew himself up, and now I'm telling you.
So once we've established the Moxicell is the trick, they're trying to get the Moxicell supply, but that's in the supply room or wherever, which is kind of difficult to get to right now. And they're like, wait a second, what about Clay's moonshine? Also a source of Moxicell. because they were drinking that earlier for some crazy reason. So they do that. They like go off to get the moonshine. They show us the new monster now, like the amalgamation of all of the
body
melted
parts.
characters.
Yeah, kind of pulling together.
Yeah, and it whips out the face of Admiral Adams in order to get into the reactor.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
So we get an update. T minus 80 days. T minus 79 days. T minus 78 days.
Shit.
All of a sudden, we're cranking up. To which the team is hearing these alerts and saying they're hitting the fucking gas. Which, sure. Like, we don't really know what they're doing with the reactor, right? At this point, like, the zombies are starting to pile in. They're starting to pile in. Yeah,
at the same point, they cut back to Dr. Chambers. And I completely missed it, but she basically figured out their plan, but I couldn't quite hear it. Did she spout on to, like, here's their plan?
Really? She was like, the plan was, like, crash into New Earth.
It's
like the plan, but it's not like it's like a sophisticated plan.
Yeah. I mean, hey, pump the gas and, there you go. Okay.
The zombies are all just kind of standing around looking at the reactor. Like, they're like piling in. It's clearly more people than the crew now, right? Like, it's starting to be, they must be turning other people into zombies at this point. Everybody's just staring at it. Though we've established that the last 50 million people that exist in the universe are on New Earth. Mm-hmm. And we're on a collision course. Like, we gotta figure out what to do here. And this is when we get our new weapons, the new Moxicell weapons,
Moxie throwers, and
Bruce Willis saying, "All right, who wants barbecue?" And then proceeding to torch the new acid fire weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing much else to say about that. So
no. So then. Right. So then this is when everyone else notices that it's infecting the passengers. It's not just the crew anymore.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis realizes that they're not going to stop. And so he declares, burn them.
So this is also some weird pacing logic thing going on here. So all three of them are outfitted with the Moxicell flamethrowers, right?
Yep.
And they come around the corner. They see them all at the reactor, and they're like, I think the doc is like, oh man, they're all going in there. Mm-hmm. It's like a weird spatial thing because I think they're literally at the end of the hallway and all these things are like walking to the reactor room.
Yep.
Isn't it a weird moment where like they're just like, hey, like they're waving to them to like distract them? Did you remember? Did you catch that? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Makes no sense.
It's
and they're like, and then that's when he says, they're not going to stop.
Burn
Toast them.
Yep. So because they're not just waving; they're also shooting. Like they shoot bullets at the people walking into the reactor room, and they're just like not fazed by it at all.
Yeah.
And then
none of this makes any sense.
No, burn them all. So they start burning them all. So there's now like a blue acid fire like beam that comes out of these weapons.
Yeah, it's a blue flame.
Yeah, but it's more like a plasma. Like it's clearly CGI and not at all fire.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all CGI, but it doesn't look like, good.
Yeah, it looks bad.
It doesn't look good at all. So,
and then this is when they're like, wait, it's working. And they just like starting to like acid burn everyone is like the new goal, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Kill them, ship out the airlock. That's pretty much it.
So
right?
Clay says, get Haley to an escape pod. We'll cover you. Because this is another like logic gap in the movie where like all of a sudden Clay actually cares about Noah and Haley and the future of the human. Like Clay has been portrayed thus far as a character that cares about nothing. Like cares about his own.
Yeah, it's his character arc, right? So now he's changing. Yeah.
Apparently now he's changed. Like just take off, go get an escape pod. We'll cover you. Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah,
infuriating.
Because then they realize precursors a little bit. But they realize that the aliens are going into or whatever the zombies are going into the cryo chambers and like turning people in there. Right. So he ends up in Noah ends up in the cryo room. Wakes up Haley.
Yep.
Not with a crowbar, but I think he just flips the thing. I don't remember.
He just opens it. Yeah. There's definitely no computers involved. He just like opens it.
Yeah. It's just a plexiglass and wood, and he opens that up.
Yep.
And then we get like very awkward back and forth between him and Haley, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's just like,
"Did we make it?
We got to get out of here. Here's a gun." And she's like, "What?
What? Are we there?
Where's Dad? He sacrificed himself to save us." So
yeah, where's Dad? We got to go. He mostly says we got to go.
Yeah, he pretty much says that. Yeah, he pretty much says that like 5 times. Like, all right, we just got. Come on, we got to go. We got to go. Yeah.
Which Also, at this point, Noah is like acid flamethrowering people. And the way that he's grunting, did you? I don't know. It was really weird to me.
It was weird. Yeah.
Oh, just like letting it rip, and you're like, okay, do you have a kidney stone or
what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then somehow Clay and Noah and Haley and Chambers all make it out of this scenario fine.
Yeah.
And they're like running down a hallway now towards the escape pods, and the monster finally catches up with them, like the big amalgamation monster.
Yeah.
And Clay looks at it and says, "That's an ugly motherfucker." So you're like,
glad you took that from Predator.
Bruce Willis just wants to say motherfucker more in this movie, I think.
Pretty much. And he's right, because the big alien looks terrible.
It is ugly. Yeah.
And it looks like a giant CG turd monster.
A little bit, yeah, with a mouth.
Right? Yeah, with a mouth. He's like
a turd with teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, turd with teeth.
And then Clay, Dr. Chambers is like, Clay, we gotta go. But they don't, and so she dies.
The turd monster just like boom, just slaps her and just like, I guess she's dead. She's
dead.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. And then
the same
Clay's like
same smackdown on Clay though.
Yeah. He's like, get out of here. You guys got to get out of here. And Noah and Haley do nothing. They stand there.
Yeah.
Until Clay also gets the smackdown.
Yes.
Which seemingly kills him.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Noah and Haley finally are like, oh, we should probably leave.
We should probably get out of here, right?
And then we get the update, 15 days and counting.
And then we get the reference back. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, think about it this way. If the rate of 15 days and counting is carrying over from earlier, the movie's done now. Like 15, 14, 13, right? Like it was going pretty quick.
Yeah. It's turned into like a countdown, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
And which in seconds.
Way more than 15 seconds left. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, time. Pay attention to time. So then Noah and Haley they're kind of running around, and then we get Haley
using her West Point training.
Yeah, fuck up an alien, I guess. That's
famously Krav Maga oriented West Point training.
Oh my God! And then they make their way to an escape pod, right?
Yeah, where the monster follows them, of course.
Yep, of course, because obviously. And then he's like, "Yeah, get in there." And then he's like, "Oh, I got to do something with the launch pad."
Yeah.
Like, what?
I got to go hit the button over on the other side of the room first.
Yeah, this is like the worst escape pod ever.
Yep.
What if you're just getting out by yourself? Would you have to go hit the button and run into?
It seems like it. Yeah, like that other guy did earlier.
Yeah.
like we've already seen this happen once. He didn't have to do that, I don't think.
Oh my God. So then he and the big alien, they're kind of facing off, right?
Yeah. Noah's blasting it with the acid thing. It doesn't seem to be doing anything.
And not at first, right? And then but then he drops down, like, okay, we got a moment of like regrouping and like, oh man, now what?
That's when he goes to set the fire alarm off, right? To try and do one more thing.
Yes. Yep.
Which makes it so that no one can see. And doesn't really seem to be a deterrent for the monster. So
Nope.
Basically now he's just blind, and the monster then punches Noah across the room.
Yes.
Which is similar to the backhand that killed Dr. Chambers and maimed Bruce Willis earlier, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Similarly, gets punched across the room and is totally fine. Like gets up immediately.
Yep.
He's like, oh wait, you punched me over right next to the button I needed to push conveniently.
That works out. Nice.
Thank God.
And then I forget. So he initiates this thing, and then he just stands up and just hoses the alien, right?
Right. Which he had done earlier to no avail, but now for some reason it works.
Yeah, now it works. And then the alien turns.
The music is like Hans Zimmering, like it's like the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting climaxy.
And then he just pops up, he hoses the alien, and then which it turns into a person, right?
Yep. No, that happened.
Okay.
There's like a single person in the middle of the monster, apparently.
And there's like this weird moment of him staring at it and being like, "Oh, oh, it's just a person. It's just like, well, why? What? This has nothing to do with anything. Why? Drake and whatever the guy's name. Why?
Just the worst writers. Makes sense for me one time.
Let's see if we can get them on. Let's see if we can reach out to them and be like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah, probably. What are they doing right now? Not working on another movie, I bet.
Hopefully not.
So
that was mean.
This is when
That's
we get
mean. I hope you guys are right.
Fuck you guys. If you want to be on the podcast, let us know. We'll give you an outlet for your creativity, he said. In air quotes.
So then we're at the escape pod, right?
We're at the hologram. Yeah, finally.
Yeah. So Noah and Haley, they made it. They're in the escape pod. And then we get Bruce hologram, right? Coming back, right?
The reprise. Yeah.
And he launches their pod, apparently, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And then I think, did he overload the reactor or did he change the ship's coordinates or something? I don't know. I missed what happened here because he's just like, he did something where the ship was now not going towards New Earth. He launches them out. They have a moment of like, oh man, yeah. And
he does like it'll take a lot more than aliens to kill me.
Yeah, and then he just smashes the really bad looking keyboard in front of him.
He says, "Adios, Padre." Just like, I guess he's going to be a father, but that's a weird turn of phrase for the end of this movie. And Stanley comes back, and Clay's like, "Hey, Stanley, looking good," because Bruce Willis is just wasted and I think improvising at this point.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, definitely.
And then the ship vaporizes into nothing.
Yep. Thump.
Because like Russ said, something happened that's unclear and not explained at all. It's just like, oh, well, threat neutralized.
So, oh boy.
We're entering the atmosphere of New Earth, right? Like we're in an escape pod. We're getting in. Everything seems like it's over. Yeah. Right? New Earth looks like it sucks, first of all. Like it's all hazy and blue.
Blue. Why is there this blue tint?
Why is everything all blue?
What the fuck? Why is there a blue tint?
I think that hurt my eyes after a while. But there's birds.
Yeah, so they land on Blue Earth, New Earth, kick open the old hatch there, and they're walking around. It's like, oh yeah, this looks lovely. And then there's just a random little girl, standing, facing a tree. Yeah, off to the right. To which Rachel Nichols says, "Is that a little kid?" And she's, "Hey, little kid, hey, we were just on a spaceship from Earth. What's up?" By the way. If you go anywhere and there's just a little kid just standing somewhere, staring off into like the woods by themselves, don't approach, don't reach out, don't call for it, just walk away.
Yeah, or kill it if you have the means.
If you have the means, yes. And of course, if it's an alien, don't. Yeah, I mean, if it's a normal kid,
right, don't murder children.
Jesus, that's Jesus Christ.
We're anti-child murder. Yeah,
absolutely. Holy smokes, Jesus. So. They're calling to this little girl who's just standing in this wherever they are. I don't even know. I guess they're on New Earth. Yeah, field or something.
Like swamp that they landed in. Yeah.
And then a little girl turns around and she turns out she's an alien. No,
she's one of the creatures. Right.
She's a creature. No.
What a nightmare. And then that's when Haley's water breaks because convenience and timing.
The sequence was
Noah, I think the baby's coming. Whoops.
So then they look to the in the far distance at the same time. So Alien Girl, by the way, is now turned and like running towards them, I think. Water breaks.
Yep.
I'm like, this is all very weird. And then they look into the distance, and in the very, 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 very far distance is a giant ape gorilla monster thing.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same as the monster that was on the ship, but way bigger.
Just way bigger. It's basically a Cloverfield monster, right? Yeah. And it's massive. And there's like I think there was a jet that was flying by trying to attack it or whatever. And it's just like,
like the Deadly Spawn.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, this monster is in a battle, which this raises other questions for me. Like, oh, are we building attack helicopters on New Earth now? Like, why is there an Apache flying around shooting Stinger missiles off at?
Oh my god.
Black Hawk Down in New Earth, I guess. I don't know.
These guys had to have been joking. We're gonna reach out to them. They had to have been joking. This had to be a joke. I don't think so. We're gonna find out. Anyways, in that way, there is more.
Yeah. The final lines, right?
What are we? So the little girl monster, she's running towards them, right? We get the giant monster in the background. New Earth is not fucking cool. And then Haley's like, her water's broken. Shit's, man. And she's like, what are we going to do?
Burn them all.
No, literally. Wait, does he burn them all or let's toast them? I wrote.
He says burn them all. Like from when earlier, when Bruce Willis says it.
Right. And then he just shoots his Burnham gun.
Yep.
The end.
Yeah. And that's literally the end. I hate this movie so much. It's so frustrating.
This might actually be the most frustrating movie we've watched.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
A lot of times, like, it comes down to like there's a bunch of just nothing makes any sense. And there's like a lot of logic issues. This movie's got so many logic issues. It's just nothing
like within its own universe. That's the problem for me. Is like you can say things that are wild. Like, oh, sure, it's 2242. You can say whatever you want. It's 200 years in the future. I'm sure we made some kind of crazy scientific progress by then that would explain half of what you're trying to operate on. But it's when the internal logic of the movie breaks and they're like, oh no, like that was different 5 minutes ago, but now it's that.
Yeah. Bullets kind of stop them, but not really, but kind of do, but don't really. Like,
but not in that one time.
But not that one time, but
that one time I let that guy punch through that other guy, which is also impossible.
And it was also just like a lot of alien tongue that never ended up doing anything. There's twice we saw alien tongue twice, and I was like, oh, this would be cool. It never turned out to do anything. It was just
no. They set it up to be like, oh, that's the vector, like that's the infection vector of everyone. It's like
right. You
got to get alien tongue down your gullet,
right? Which would have been like if you just spike it right in the head or whatever, and you could do that. Ah, man. Anyways.
Nope. Didn't matter. Nothing matters.
So
yeah,
that's it. So that's Breach.
Yeah, and then it ends with like the end credit music is like some kind of Nine Inch Nails ripoff.
It's Aaron Drake. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, hate it.
So yeah, that's Breach. I think we did a pretty good job of our predictions from the trailer. I mean, I think I did pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't. I thought all the main characters would live, and it turns out probably none of them are going to. Another one in the books.
Another one in the books. So that's good. I don't know. Is there anything else to say? Are we done?
I think pretty good.
Thanks everyone for listening. Mm-hmm. It's been awesome. This has been an adventure. In space.
Real blast.
But we'll be back next week with the new full breakdown of a new movie, right?
Yep.
But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, and then we're ITMTPod on Twitter. Like we always say, if you're listening to us somewhere, you should follow us or subscribe. Spotify, Google,
whatever the button says.
Just click it
on your app of choice.
Yeah, click.
And while you're on said app of choice, you can leave us a review. 5 stars would be nice, but again, it depends on your rating system.
We'll take 4 as the lowest, but 5 works.
Sure. Yeah. I prefer at least several. Again, you can be mean to us, say something, give us some criticism, maybe a compliment sandwich in the comments.
Yeah, compliment sandwich, right?
We like those. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to send us something more private, you can just send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com.
Yep.
Or even if you don't want to interact with us at all, you can go listen to our other episodes on our website.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's
it's thismeetsthat.com. Yeah.
Yeah. That's no sweat off our back if you want to just not interact with us at all.
Yeah. Just go listen to every episode after like the 10th one.
Yeah. I think that's it.